Good evening, everybody. It's Hans. Just wanted to do a quick video. I have not done a video on Charlie Kirk. I have waited to see what happens. I wanted to see what the lay of the land looked like. And I think it's time I made my video. So pretty much as I watched the video of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, I was reminded of Zabruda, or whatever his name was, who filmed the Kennedy assassination, and how that recording was the thing that has seared the mind of everyone about how a nation, an America, and a world was put through an opportunity through his first 3 years of his presidency of having some kind of hope and saying that this man actually wanted peace, and he was a man of peace, and he wanted to not be at war with the planet, with Russia and everybody else. And so he went up against the deep state, and the deep state basically took care of him. And the deep state also includes, obviously, Israel as part of it, because they're all one united front. And by the united front, I mean Mossad, I mean Israeli interests, MI5 British interests, the Anglo-Saxon interest, the military-industrial complex interests, the CIA's interests. All these organizations have lived on death, war, and chaos as a way to go forward. And that is the methodology by which they want to continue living out their doctrine and how they spread their version of what they think is the meaning of liberty and freedom. And liberty and freedom in American senses: are you willing to bend the knee? Are you willing to do exactly what America tells you to do? Or are you unwilling to do that? If you're unwilling to do that, then you suffer the consequences of the deep state, which will bring everything down against you. So the reason I say that all of this is for you to understand what I mean by the deep state. You need to understand that Charlie Kirk has refused to take any more money from the Zionists. His organization was something that was paid for and built by the Zionists. If you don't think for 1 minute that these guys are not monitoring the telephones, messaging apps and everything else of Charlie Kirk and every other influencer in America that they see as a potential threat to them, that they see as someone who could move the needle on them. And you've got to bear in mind, Charlie Kirk, for all of the fact that he is was an Israeli supporter at the beginning and whatever else, was able to mobilize people. Some people afford him the presidency, as in he helped Donald Trump get into power. Now, getting Donald Trump into power did obviously save him from what was coming next to him. And I want people to understand that if he was to take his youth movement, and it is a youth movement, and suddenly turn it against Israel, and it becomes an agency to advocate for the truth, for the light, for the Palestinians, to go against the people that are committing genocide in the name of America, because Israel does what it does and says, we're doing this for you so you don't have to have it back home. That's their favorite line. We're fighting them over here so you don't have to fight them over there. The fact is, 9/11 was a job that was monitored and watched and helped Israel get what it wanted done, which is the invasion of the Middle East, wars, chaos, and the breakdown of countries. At the end of the day, the Israelis didn't lose a single person, but 1 million Iraqis lost their lives. And I don't know how many thousands of American soldiers died in Iraq and then Afghanistan. All of this was to make sure that Israel has these people who were fighting it, who were actual legitimate, actual targets and enemies of Israel, being taken out. And it's cost trillions upon trillions of dollars to do these wars. Again, all for the security of the state of Israel. Now here comes Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is someone who has had his operation built up by Israel. And I'm telling you that they killed him. This kid, whatever else, he was killed by the deep state. I don't care who the fucking shooter is. What I can tell you is, I have been watching video after video after video of late of Charlie turning around and saying, like, I'm not happy with what's happening. The fact that he hosted Dave Smith, against that Jewish influencer was not a good thing and not a good look for Charlie Kirk as the Zionist supporting person. So maybe that's got something to do with it. Then the biggest other thing is, at this event, this huge event, he had Tucker Carlson come along. Tucker Carlson came and spoke against Israel like no one has ever done at these events. And Tucker Carlson got a fucking ton of people clapping and cheering for what he was saying, because it's common sense. Anyone with half a brain can see what's going on, can see the fact that Israel is committing a genocide. And it goes against every single Christian value that this organization advocates for. It's not right to murder people from the sky. It's not right to make children the main front line of the death and destruction of Gaza. So Charlie turned and was on his way to turning, and I promise you, in my heart of hearts, I have no doubt whatsoever that this kid was about to turn and turn properly on Israel. You've got to realize he was advocating for America first. And America first means no more wars for Israel. And what have we got in the last few months? We had the 12-day war between Israel and Iran. And guess what? Charlie Kirk wasn't happy about that. And we're looking right now at going back into another war situation. They need the backing of America. They need Americans on side with them. They can't go there without the Charlie Kirks of this world, without the youth there. And Charlie Kirk has turned around and said, we don't need to have any more wars with Iran. Iran is not our enemy. Iran is not a threat to us. I don't have to tell you. All you need to do is just literally Charlie Kirk on X and what he was saying about Iran and wars and this, that, and the other. He was completely against it. And yet Israel wants to have a war with Iran. So therefore, Charlie Kirk, with this huge organization, could not be allowed to live. There's no way he was going to change his mind. There is no way. Because he was on the same journey that Candace Owen was on 2 years ago or a year ago when she left Ben Shapiro's team and started up her own podcast and started telling the truth as she saw it, and that is the important thing. Now, if you imagine Charlie Kirk turning around and being the next Candace Owen, his reach is bigger than Candace Owen. His reach is bigger than everyone. And what will happen is the youth would come with him. They would flood every space. There'd be no place left for Israel, for the Zionist arguments. All that will be left are the people who are seen as bad faith actors, people like that guy Ben Levine, Art Levine, Ben Shapiro. These guys are all Israeli shills and everyone recognizes them for what they are. They're literally the Hasbro version of America. They are the American Hasbro, brigade. They're like the 5th Brigade of Hasbro in America. They claim to have American nationality. Reality, their first, what's it called? Love is for Israel and not America. So I just want to bring it to a close and say to you all, Charlie Kirk was killed by the deep state. Don't look at the bullshit that you're seeing right now with this guy, Tyler Robinson. He's just someone who's basically either been asked to do it or is doing it or was, in fact, most probably brainwashed into doing it through influence of other people. And he murdered Charlie Kirk because he believed it was the right thing to do. But really, how did he get seduced to do that? How does a 22-year-old do that? You know who does that? MK Ultra. You know who does that? People that know how to fucking hypnotize and influence people and press the fucking buttons because they've got the algorithms of our fucking existence and lives. So I'll just leave it there and say, Israel did it. American deep state CIA did it. And don't fucking close your eyes to that. Keep your eyes fucking open, America. Good night.